Hello! Welcome back to my channel. It has been a little while since I have filmed. This month has been crazy busy, but I am back. So today I am going to be sharing with you my October pile of possibilities. So I had a weird month in September as far as reading went. I had all these plans, and I just didn't read very much, which happens from time to time, and that's okay, because August I read a ton. I was probably burned out. Now I'm hoping that October will be a little better. But when it came down to picking what I wanted to read, I just wasn't inspired, and so I decided that I would join in with Krista from Books and Jams Ketchup-a-thon. And there is another booktuber that is helping her, and I will post her name here. I wasn't thinking enough to get her name ahead of time. Probably should have done that, but I didn't. So I will put her name here, and yeah, I'm gonna join in on that. So basically what they're doing is a book of the month catch-up readathon, the middle 2 weeks of October. I don't subscribe to book of the month, but I do have a lot of books that have been sitting on my shelf that I've either started or have been like on multiple TBRs, and so I figured I would take that opportunity to add those books to this, and then maybe hopefully I'll actually read them. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the books that I chose for their prompts. Basically, and I thought it was really cool, their prompts are based on like making a burger out of the books that you have, and so you have like menu choices and what you want on your burger, and then that's the books you choose, and so that's how I'm going to choose my books. So here. Okay, so prompt 1 is choose the burger that you want. So they have veggie burger, turkey burger, and beef burger. And I'm going to go with the veggie burger because it's newest book of the month, which, like I said, I don't do book of the month. So I just chose the newest, or one of the newest books that I got in my last book haul. And that is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I am just finishing up Cinder, which is also on this TBR. So once I get that done, I'll be happy to get into this one as well. Renegades is about superheroes that are trying to right the wrongs of evil superheroes who have basically taken over the world, and they are trying to put things back in order because everything is in anarchy, and so it sounds really good. I have read the prologue for this and I was hooked, so I really want to get to this one ASAP. Okay, so prompt number 2, you were to pick your bun. They have a sesame bun, a whole wheat bun, and a rye bun. And I went with the rye bun. It is a debut author. Okay, so it is a debut author, and so I picked A Karina and the League of Crows by Melody Edwards. This is a book that I picked up when I went to Wyoming this summer, and it is by a local author in Laramie, Wyoming. And I have actually I've read 42 pages of this already, and so far I'm very, very intrigued, but I set it aside to do a whole bunch of other reading, and I really want to get back to it, so that's going to be for that choice. Okay, so the next one is a condiment, and they have ketchup, mustard, or mayo, and those are like the colors. So I picked ketchup and mayo because my book is red and white, and I kind of copied Krista because she also picked a red and white book as well. This is Good Girl, Bad Blood. This is the second book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. If you don't know anything about that particular book, the main character, Pippa, is a senior in high school, and she has a project that she's supposed to turn in, and she decides that she is going to write a paper and investigate a murder that happened 5 years prior to her being a senior. The murder was with a popular girl and a popular boy, and he supposedly murdered her and then killed himself, but she doesn't think that he did because she knew him personally and he was always very kind to her, and so she's just always doubted it, and so she decides to write a paper on that. The second one is her podcast based on that book. And then, like, that first book, the author was really good about it. Didn't only have a mystery for that book, she laid the groundwork for mysteries to be told later on. And so I'm hoping that some of those mysteries will be solved here. I'm pretty sure they are, and I'm looking forward to this one. Okay, so the next one is toppings. And I actually like all the toppings on my burger. So the first one was pickle, and it was a book of the month book that someone else influenced you to read. And so I picked, again, not book of the month, but we're not going to mention that. I picked this one. It's Dragonflight by Anne McCaffrey. This was recommended to me by my sister-in-law, and so far she has not done me wrong. So I am going to read this. I've heard really good things. This is kind of like a sci-fi fantasy book about dragons and all those things. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I am looking forward to it. It is a classic. So yeah, I am really looking forward to this one as well. Also, it's green and pickles, so I didn't do that on purpose, it just happened to be that. Okay, so the next one was a book that intimidates you, and this was onions. And so for that one, I picked The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I have always been really intrigued by this story. I love the movie, but classics have not been my friends lately, and so I'm gonna try it. We'll see how it goes, but I have really enjoyed what I've read of H.G. Wells, so I'm hoping it'll be one that I like. The next prompt was cheese, and that is to read a book with 500 plus pages, and so I picked Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. This one is over 600 pages long. I'm not sure if I'll get completely through it, but I wanted it on my list because I have been looking forward to reading this for a while. I have read the prologue, but I have not dived into the book, and so that is what I am looking forward to. This book, from the prologue, basically what I gather is that the magical system is based on colors, and this sword right here is somehow able to communicate with the person that owns it. So those are the only two things I know, and I'm really excited because I hear really good things about this book. Okay, so the next topping that you could pick was bacon, and it is most anticipated book of the month. I don't do book of the month. I've said that several times. But this book I have been anticipating reading for a while. I read a chapter of it, I don't know, back in May or something like that. And I just recently ordered it, and so it is on the list, and that is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This is a book about two sisters that take part in a fantasy type of game. I don't know a whole lot about it other than it sounds amazing. The first chapter roped me in, so I am ready to sit down with this and read it. Okay, so the next topping that you could put on your burger, it was lettuce, and that was a go-to genre. For me, my go-to is sci-fi, and so for this one, I picked Sunreach by Brandon Sanderson, and it is part of the Skyward Flight novellas. I have read part of this. I am on like page 40 something. This particular novella follows FM. She is one of the members of Spenza's flight, the Skyward Flight, and so this kind of follows. This is happening at the same time as the end of Starsight, and then goes a little bit after that. And so that is going to be my pick for go-to genre. Okay, so the last topping is tomato, and I actually don't like tomatoes, so I did not pick anything for that. But if you're interested, that one was a fast-paced book of the month pick. Okay, so that is my hamburger for October. I am not going to do it in the middle 2 weeks. I'm going to use the whole month because this is quite a few books, and I honestly don't know if I'll get to all of them, but this is my hamburger. I'm really excited. I think this was a really fun idea, and I can't wait to get to all these books. These are books I have been staring at forever and just haven't gotten to. So since I've been in the middle of a reading slump, I'm hoping that this will really help me get out of that slump. Okay, and I do have a couple of more books that are on my radar, or books that I will be reading this month. I am doing Battle of the Books for myself this month, and I picked some spooky books. So I picked The Island of Dr. Moreau, and then also The Daughter of Dr. Moreau, and these are going to be pitted against each other to see which one I enjoy the most. The first one is a classic, and it is by H.G. Wells. I have already started it. So far, I have really enjoyed it. His writing is very accessible, and it makes sense, and I don't feel like bogged down by it like I do some other classic authors. So I've really enjoyed this. I can see why it would be considered maybe like horror back when it was written, because it's very descriptive, and some of the creatures that are in this are pretty grotesque. And so that one has been interesting so far. This one, The Daughter of Dr. Moreau, is by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's about Dr. Moreau's daughter and all the consequences of her life having a father that did experiments on people and created half beast, half human creatures. And so she lives with these creatures and stuff goes down. So I'm excited. I'm really hoping that this is one that I enjoy. I've heard good things, but we will see. Okay, so another one that I thought I would just put on my shelf. This is my TBR shelf back here. When I think of October, I'm not a big Halloween person, but I really do love like mysteries and thrillers and things that kind of make me think. And I don't know how much this one will make me think, but I've had it on my shelf for a long time, and it's a classic, and I've heard good things. It is The Best of Father Brown by G.K. Chesterton. And yeah, this is about a priest who solves murder mysteries back in, I don't even know, I think it's the 1800s. Yeah, around the 1800s, early 1900s. And so I'm looking forward to that. I've heard good things about it. So it's kind of like a cozy mystery type of feel is what I think. So that's on my list. This is one of those that if I get to it, great. If I don't, I'll just set it on the shelf for later. And then the last one is one that I am going to try to read in the next 3 days. Today is October 2nd, and I have a trip that I am going on. We are leaving on the 6th, And so I really want to get this one done before then, because I was actually supposed to be done with it in September because it's a buddy read. And that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. And so far I am really enjoying this. If you don't know what it is a cyborg retelling of Cinderella, and there is a pandemic and an evil queen from the moon and all kinds of cool stuff. So I am enjoying this. I've heard amazing things. So I'm gonna finish this hopefully in the next 3 days. I'm gonna really focus on this, and then I will get to the rest of these. So that is my pile of possibilities for October. I'm excited. I'm hoping I will get out of my reading slump and get at least some of these books read. I doubt I'll read all of them, but I have a pile of things that I want to read. So that is it for the video today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.